Yeah. What's going on with it, man? No, I've been kind of MIA since the playoffs was over with. I needed a break too. I told y'all that Warriors series was gonna take a lot out of me, but whatever. And I'm not really gonna be doing a whole lot for a little bit. But we here now. Um, draft lottery just finished, and real quick, bro. I don't know if it was on here that I said it, but I said it somewhere. I said there ain't no way that Luka trade went down the way that it did in the Mavs, or what's the name, uh, Collins down up there in Dallas. There wasn't no way there wasn't some backroom deal where they was not gonna get something in return, and we see what happened. Dallas got the #1 pick, so not so shout out for the city of Dallas. We don't like Southern Oklahoma down here in H-Town, but anyway, um, we got pick number 10. I'm not gonna even sit here and tell you that I really done a whole lot of draft research this time around because we're kind of in a different stage right now as Rockets fans. But there's a few people that I think are in our range at number 10. Right quick, I know number 1 on everybody's list is gonna be Kaman Maluak, the center from Duke, the Sudanese kid, 7'2", long, lanky, lob threat, rebound, block shots, which is a skill set that we really do not have, and definitely will be some Steven Adams insurance for next season if we end up keeping a pick. There's also Con Coupel, also out of Duke, sharp shooting wing. But he ain't gonna get no playing time under Udoka. I can tell you that right now. Another dude I've heard people talk about is Jeremiah Fears, point guard out of Oklahoma. Explosive point guard, could get buckets, get guys involved, and not so shabby on the defensive end either. That's another guy I think people might have, on the Rockets radar. Another guy, combo guard Jace Richardson out of Michigan State, 6'3" kid, bucket getter, and that's what he do. Low key, I've been hearing a few people, well, not a few people, a lot of people actually talking about Derek Queen out of Maryland. Now that's a guy I could talk about. I've kind of kept an eye on him for a little bit because my man James Piercy from the franchise podcast. Shout out to James Piercy. He was big. He put me on Derek Queen. I just decided to keep an eye on him because I trust James' basketball eye. So I kind of like that. I do like that kid. He can rebound. He can. He's a big body who can post up. He can get buckets on the low block. He flashes a little bit of an outside shot. You can't get away with putting no 4-man on him because he's gonna punish him. I've heard people call him a bigger Alperen Sengun. I don't necessarily see that. Alperen Sengun got a little bit more wiggle to him. Derek Queen is probably a lot more brute force to him, but he still got good touch around the basket. Decent free throw shooter for a big man. I've seen him hit the 3. He don't take a lot of them, but I think that's something that he could eventually get to. Big downfall with him is defensively, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to provide what Ime Udoka is going to need. So I'm not sure if he would even get a whole lot of playing time. Now, I don't even think, to be honest, if I'm keeping it a bean, I'm not even sure we even keep the pick in the first place. I think that pick is good as gone because it's not in the top 5. I think it's good as gone. There can be a framework with number 10 pick attached to somebody like maybe Dylan Brooks. And the reason I'm saying Dylan Brooks is because in that postseason press conference with Ime Udoka and Rafael Stone, they mentioned just about everybody on the damn roster except Dylan Brooks. Well, at least everybody in the rotation, and not so much Dylan Brooks. So that kind of tells me he may not be in the future plans too much. So there's that. So I could see pick 10 and Dylan going for, I don't know. It may be just one of those deals where we get off of him for future assets, maybe even future premium assets, and maybe an expiring contract. I don't know if we actually extend Tari and Bari. I think we should. We probably won't, but I think it opens up a lot more playing time for them too. Either Tari gonna start or Jabari gonna start. Slide a man down there to the 3 where he probably should be in the first place instead of playing the 4 on offense. and the 2 on defense. I don't know. It was weird. But as y'all know, that starting lineup with Amen Thompson in place of Jabari Smith for the season. One of them was better than the other, and I'm pretty sure y'all know which one it is because I've been talking about it for so long. Everybody who's been keeping up with me for the longest, y'all already know. But I'm an Amen Thompson guy, and I'm definitely a Jabari Smith guy, so it's not like I'm trying to pit the two together, but one lineup was better than the other when the other one was starting. That's all I'm really going to say about that. But it is what it is. But really, I mean, you can throw Tari in there at the 4 and playing along with Amen Thompson in the starting lineup and have start the game with Terry Twins, and I think that'll be fire, to be honest. I think that'll be extra fire. Along with Alper Sengun, he got cutters, he got some better shooter in Tari Eason, and a couple guys who are gonna get out there and get on the break with JG if he's still around. More on that later this summer. I'll touch on that in a little bit. I know everybody kind of sour on him. Anyway, speaking of JG, so it's gonna be a short video, y'all. I'm not gonna keep y'all here for too long. There was I know a lot of people have been giving their opinions on the question Jackson Gatlin asked Rafael Stone about Jalen Green not being his on-off not being the best. Y'all know me though, man. I'm not the biggest on-off, up, down, left, right, all that diagonal. I'm not the biggest on all of that spreadsheet talk, especially without like actual context, because it doesn't take into account the players you're playing against, doesn't take into account the rotation, who you on the floor with, doesn't take into account the scheme that's being run, the plays that's being ran, and all that. It doesn't. It really just doesn't. Obviously, you can use it to a certain point, but it doesn't have enough context to it. But however you see that is how you see it. The numbers are what they are. And Jackson had every right to. I might be a little bit biased because I like Jackson, but Jackson had every right to ask that question as directly as he did. But he also should have known Stone wouldn't finna answer that directly. You know that. He's a lawyer. You can ask lawyer, what's 1 + 1? They're gonna say, by 1 + 1, what do you mean by 1? And what's the plus actually going to be? Is it gonna be a T, or is it gonna be a cross like the one Jesus died on? Like they'll ask you all kind of stuff and get you up off topic, and you'd be frustrated. That's what happened. That's pretty much what Stone did. Kind of little broed him a little bit in the press conference, saying this a flawed question. He could have just said that was a flawed stat, but this is what Rafael Stone should have said that he did not say. What he easily could have said and gotten away with was understand what some stats say. We also see some internal stats that we use that says a little bit different, but I mean we all see how defenses play him, and they don't play him like a guy that they think the Rockets are worse off with. They play him like a guy who you need to take care of and stop. So if the NBA defenses are going to respect him the way that they do, I think we have to just find better ways to, compensate for that and, get him going in other ways. So that's an easy way Rafael Stone could have answered that question, but he didn't do that. I don't know. He got caught off guard. I don't know why he got caught off guard, but I understand people, kind of picking at Jackson for asking that question the way that he did about Jalen Green, because a little history or whatever. I'm not finna go into all of that. But Jackson Gatlin has owned up to it like a man, because most people when they do stuff, in a professional space that might be a little unprofessional, they might just let it go and not even say nothing about it, or they'll give them some like little pitter patter apology that we know was made off of ChatGPT. But Jackson came out like a man and apologized. This was years ago. This was the whole triple dragon thing with the one retarded dragon. But whatever it is, whatever's all that, I'm gonna need some of y'all to kind of get up off of Jackson though. Like he's a reporter, you're supposed to ask these type of tough questions. If I had a criticism for him, it would have been ask it a different way. You could have asked it a whole completely different way. Maybe it got the same answer, but it wouldn't have came off like it was personal just because of the history. You just got to be a little bit more mindful of that. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all at the moment. It's your man's AK Infinity. Follow me on Twitter /X at AK Infinity_VVS. This is the Incredible Rockets Propaganda Channel. I got some more stuff that's going to be coming down the pike during the summer sparingly, not a whole lot. I'm not going to be as active. I got other stuff to do that I kind of put on the back burner because you Rockets had me stressed the hell out in this first round. But it's all good, man. Catch y'all on the next one. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.